ensayas rápido, no te sabes con el pie. Lo ensayas rápido, no te sabes con el pie.
Welcome back to Civil Discourse Now. I'm Mark Small.
And I'm Paul Ogden.
Our guest today is Fernando Gomez. We've been discussing the ordinance that was vetoed by Mayor Ballard last month that would have prevented blacklisting by hotels in regards to employment of various staff members.
Well, Mark, I'll read the description. It would bar a hotel from obtaining or renewing its license if it had an agreement with a contract cleaning service not to hire any of that company's workers.
And the
That's what it's described as.
And then the exact the wording here is that as a condition of procuring an annual license and maintaining it after it is procured, the licensee or license applicant, in other words the hotel, shall not be party to any agreement that prevents the licensee or license applicant from hiring employees of any contracting service at the hotel. Upon request, the licensee or license applicant shall present any agreement for contracting service at the hotel to the Office of Corporation Counsel to ensure compliance with this section.
So their contract would become public? Or,
Yes.
yes.
In order to make sure that they don't have a provision that
Right.
blacklists.
That makes sense to me.
And this is what Mayor Ballard vetoed on July, I think it was 14th, Bastille Day. But he vetoed that. What is Unite here doing now? Are they trying to get this measure reconsidered?
What we're trying to do right now is to get an appointment to talk on the table with Mayor Ballard and bring hotel workers, because what shocked us is for him to have said that the reason he vetoed the proposal or the ordinance because there wasn't enough evidence, and so we want to bring all this evidence, all these workers, and make them see what's going on.
Yeah, but I'm sorry to interrupt. But first of all, it already is the law. So why would they need more evidence to simply codify for the city what is the law for the state and the federal governments? Why would they need more evidence? Because it should be against the law anyway. Everybody else has it against the law.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly,
Even the hotel says it's against the law.
yeah, even the hotel
Yeah,
does.
hotel said it was against.
But secondly, how many people were you there when they spoke to the city county council?
Yeah, I spoke. It's in the city council. It's on
Yeah,
video.
how many people spoke?
Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I believe around 4 people. Yeah, 4 people. And
How many were present for your group?
There were. I mean, the entire city council got filled on the introduction of the proposal, but on the actual voting of the proposal on, was it July the 16th? We overflown the city council room, and there was approximately around 500 people coming in support of this proposal, and the city council approved it. They passed it, but it got sent to the mayor's desk, and it took him 2 days for him to make a decision.
And it was actually a party line vote. I think all the Democrats
Yeah.
voted for it, all the Republicans voted against it. And they don't have enough votes to override the mayor's veto of the ordinance.
That's right, and I misspoke. It was July 16th, so it wasn't Bastille Day. But I guess I'm still in a quandary. You've got 1,000 people that are affected by it, according to Sarah Lyons, saying, and she's with Unite here. You have over 1,000 people affected. You have all these people, an overflowing room of people. four of whom have spoken, but presumably everybody else there could say this is what is going on. It's already the law, so presumably everybody agrees this is how it is and how it should be, but Mayor Ballard vetoed it because he didn't find overwhelming evidence, and besides it would be a burden on the employers. That's contradictory.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the burden is, to be quite frank. If I would
You're not Frank, you're Paul.
That's true. If I was on the council and being a Republican, I would have voted for it.
And then you wouldn't be on the
Because
council anymore.
It wouldn't be on the council anymore, I guess. But to me, it's already the law, and I'd like to see investigation by, and I mentioned in my article, the U.S. Attorney's Office, because there could be federal violations there, Sherman antitrust law violations, which I think the feds take a harsher opinion of this than maybe the state people would. So. But I'm not on the council, Mark. Not yet. Maybe never.
And
Probably never.
And antitrust law comes and goes. I mean,
True.
It's enforced sometimes, and
But we've had instances where they were talking about around town. Trying to remember what I should have brought it up because I can't remember what it was. They've done investigations before of people colluding like on prices to set prices. That's the same thing. They're colluding to set wages, to keep wages artificially low. And the idea that Republican philosophy is the open marketplace, that people can go from one job to another to improve their salary, and they're taking that away from you. That's why we have antitrust laws.
And that's what Hospitality Staffing Solutions brags about. They will keep their costs down by 12% on average, and they do it by paying minimum wage, not providing benefits, and they shoulder the responsibility of cutting the payroll checks.
And my response would be, that's their right. You don't have a right to prevent someone from going to get a better job. And that is the ace card that the employee has, is that they can go get a better job. They're not required to stay in this dead-end job that pays minimum wage with no benefits. They could shop around. But they're having that right taken away from them. So
You're sounding very left-wing, Paul.
no, I'm sounding very. I'm against I'm for antitrust laws. They exist for a reason.
That's because Theodore Roosevelt brought them in.
That's right.
And
I'm a
you're-
big fan of Teddy Roosevelt. Exactly. You remember him?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Well, I don't see the city county council having great impetus to move. I mean, the city county council itself has passed it, but the mayor doesn't come up for re-election for 3.5 years, if indeed he runs
So
again.
what is the strategy to convince the mayor? I would say possibly if you did have a contract that said, hey, we agree to do that, and eventually that's going to come out. You get the litigation, you have discovery, those contracts are going to come out. If they actually were dumb enough to put those in the contract, that, hey, we're not going to hire other employees from other agencies, then that would be evidence I think the mayor could consider. So
I don't know that the mayor would consider it. I think it'd be
I
like
think-
the Black Knight in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. His arm gets cleaved off, and he goes, "It's only a flesh wound." I mean, he can ignore realities anytime he wants.
And I think that there's a lot of truth to that. That maybe no evidence is going to be enough to convince them, because they can always come back and say, "Well, it's already against the law." So, one of the things that I have, one of the problems I have, and I think Mark has as well, is we heavily subsidize the downtown hotel industry, and we're all the time having executives come in there and say, "Oh, we need more subsidies. We need more money." And another blogger has reported on how we taxpayers actually pay to bring down the price of some of these hotel rooms for conventions and things like that. And then they turn around and we want them to do a little something in return,
Like
not blacklist people,
by obeying the law.
like obeying the law. And they're like, "No, we don't need this law."
Yes, because that was one of the people from the industry said that they're opposed to it because we don't need the law.
Well, if you don't, okay, and I understand. If you don't need the law, then it's almost like, well, what does it hurt to pass it then? I mean,
If it's the law on the federal and state levels anyway,
right.
it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Fernando, what's the next big date in this? Is there any kind of an event coming up or anything?
We're gonna follow Ballard around and try to find him. Good luck with that.
I mean, I already did this morning. Brought to him to the mayor's soccer tournament event. He Saturday kicked off this morning, and brought more workers to speak to him. And like he said, there's already law in place, but that it's not enforced. It's not,
Yeah,
it's not
because
helping us, and if it actually exists, which I haven't gotten into.
And I'm not sure it was a criminal law or civil law, but maybe go to Terry Curry, is the local prosecutor, Democrat. Might be an option. U.S. Attorney Joe Hogshead, a Democrat, might be interested in something, I guess.
And so I guess for him as a mayor, he needs to look out for the people, and if he really wants to help his people, he needs to listen to us more and have a seat with us and talk face to face at his office, and that's what we're trying to do. Get these workers and the mayor to talk to them and what the options and what can they do. But right after the veto, we made a boycott around the Hyatt, and because of what Avia went through, she got fired because of supposedly attendance issues. So we made this global boycott on the Hyatt because they were the first ones to bring HSS to the city, and from there propagated it to other hotels.
Yeah.
So they're being more outspoken. They even wrote a letter, and the Indianapolis Star congratulating Mayor Ballard for vetoing the proposal. And
Oh, Hyatt did?
Hyatt did?
Yeah, Hyatt. You can look it around. You can find it, and they actually applauded the mayor for vetoing this proposal.
Vetoing the proposal that, according to them, doesn't do anything because it's already the law.
Fernando, thank you very much for being our guest today. We wish you the best of luck on this.
Yeah.
And we
Good
hope...
learning more about it. Take care.
All right. Yeah. Always learn about it.
Yeah.
Thanks very, very much for watching Civil Discourse Now. I'm Mark Small.
I'm Paul Ogden.
And we'll be back with you next week discussing more issues and having fun in the world of politics, society, what have you.
Exactly.
Thank you.